To conclude our research, we would like to say that we are bullish on Zee because it has growth drivers, strong growth drivers firm in place. We are also supported by the fact that it is unleveraged and it has grown largely out of internal accruals and is expected to continue doing so. And it has yielded stellar returns for equity investors in the past, and we expect it to stay on course. So the upshot here is a buy call with a target price of around 295 rupees, which is a 20% upside on its current market price. Thank you, and we are now open to questions.
So, my first question would be, justify to me the valuations. Do you guys believe this is a cheap stock? That is one first question. Second is that, how have you arrived at this overall valuation methodology? If you could explain a bit more in terms of what growth rates you assume for various business segments, and why should margins spike up by 100 but 1000 bips, I was told, or that's what I heard. Why should that happen?
Yeah, coming to the revenue model we used. Now first, I'm just explaining the base case, the bear case and the bull case given as per it. Now first we come to the GDP, what the Indian GDP is, and we grow the GDP at the rates what we took as per our base case, that's 5% throughout. Now, we also incorporated a forward exchange rate premium, that's a rate by which, average rate by which the rupee would depreciate over the years to convert the GDP from a US dollar terms to rupee terms. Then we took the TV ad spends, which are currently 0.29% of GDP, and came to the total TV ad spends in India as of today. From that, we took Zee's market share, and we expect Zee's market share in TV ad revenues to shrink from current 5.86% to 5% being conservative on account of increasing competition. And just owing to one, the increase in the GDP over a period of the next 4 years, and as well as an increase in the percentage of TV ad spends coming in line with global peers. Now globally we showed a chart in which TV ad spends in India are abysmally low at 0.29% as a percentage of GDP as compared to other countries. This is largely because the TV penetration in India, which we have used ahead, is about just 65% in India as compared to over 90% in the other major economies, even including China and Brazil. So as India comes up to that level, we expect the TV ad spends to increase, which is what we have incorporated. Next, for the subscription revenues, we first took in the population growth rate to find out the growth rate in the number of households in India. From that, which is in line with FICCI estimates, then we come to the number of households and the TV penetration rates, which will increase from 65% to 73% till 2017 on a conservative basis as per FICCI estimates. Next, we took the penetration of digitization, which is entirely as per FICCI estimates, that is from the current 39% to over 90% in FY17. Now, the basic difference is at the ARPU level. On an analog TV level, the ARPUs are just about ₹4 per user for Zee as a broadcaster, whereas the same on a digitized subscriber is about 12.5 rupees for Zee. So as the industry shifts from analog to digitized, the mix shifts, we shall see a huge increase in subscription revenues. And we also incorporated lastly an increase, because of the additional pricing power that they shall have, we incorporated an increase in the ARPUs just on the basis of inflation.
Where did you get the 5.5% in the previous slide, the 5.5% market share? What is that?
Okay, we know, as of today we know that India's percentage of GDP of ad spend, the total market size is...
So this is total ad spend, both print and non-print?
No, that's TV ad spends.
TV ad spends.
TV ad spend as a percentage of GDP is 0.29%. And from that, Zee's actual figures as of today are about 5.86% market share based on the actual results. So that we expect to shrink to 5% on account of increased competition being conservative.
So basically what you're trying to make is that the effective conversion to the digital will ultimately drive the EBITDA margin expansion. That's the way we should look at it. Yes. But at 1,000 basis points, so your entire argument seems to be based on that as a key driver of EBITDA margin expansion over the next few years. And what are the risks that you perceive could the company face, and how have you accounted for that into your evaluation?
Correct.
Okay, when it comes to EBITDA margin, like the company has recently moved in terms of cost. First, also another point which we want to mention is in terms of cost, the company is largely moving on to in-house production for its facilities. So the bulk of the cost comes from procurement of movie rights. So that is a major drain on the cost side and all, because content is produced inside and they own more or less all the properties in terms of the shows that bring about a large TV share. Those costs are controlled. In terms of digitization, in order, let's say we looked at the risk of digitization moderating and what kind of impact it had. But when we analyzed what we saw that phase 1 and phase 2 have been more or less on progress, and the government and the regulatory agencies have been pretty serious about implementing it. Like there was a blackout in August 2012 during phase 1. Similarly, in March 2013, while covering all the metros, again the blackout was imposed, which more or less shot up the percentage of digitization in metros to around 95%. Only a city like Chennai is a problem where because of political reasons that has not completed. So we are positive that digitization will be all on schedule and complete by December 2014. As far as margin expansion is concerned, because they were able to monetize phase 1 and phase 2, their EBITDA margins expanded solidly in the last 2 quarters as well. And we expect this to continue till complete monetization of digitalization is achieved.
For example, just to add, in the latest quarter, the EBITDA margins were at hefty 29%, up from 25% just a year ago. So there's already 4 basis points of that incorporated in the actual result. So what we are suggesting is just a 6% extra, which would come with as digitalization gets completely implemented. And also, there would be a reduction in the carriage and placement costs of what the companies pay to the MSOs because of digitization, because channel carrying capacity of the MSOs would increase from what is 80 currently.
Exactly. Like currently, in case of analog, the MSOs and local operators carry about 80 channels and they charge a hefty premium from broadcasters. Now with digitization, it moves on to around 300-350 channels. It drastically brings down the cost of carrying channels. At the same time, it offers them the opportunity to launch more channels, more niche content, and the business model for niche markets becomes sustainable.
At the same time, in the same thing, we see that the channels which are given to MSOs, the bargaining power of broadcasters like Zee is increasing to much higher level. So that again is benefiting Zee.
Yeah, like currently, let's say TRAI is mandating a revenue sharing agreement between MSOs and LCOs. LCOs have been cornering a bulk of the revenues due to underreporting and all. Due to introduction of KYC and digital addressing, this problem can get corrected. Secondly, also from the point of advertising, we see revenues. Advertising is also a driver for Zee because of its market leadership in many segments.
So globally, the advertisement revenue is pretty high as compared to what India has, which we showed on the slide, which is about 0.29% of the GDP. We also expect that to drive our EBITDA as well as revenues. So that is also one of the significant drivers.
In a bear case scenario, we assumed it to remain at more or less stagnant at 0.29 to 3% without having any incremental gain. But the shift from there's also a shift in the from TRP ratings to TVT ratings. This will be a major driver in the change of the way ads are sold. Currently, it's sold as a percentage of the market, right? On the TRP, it's like 3% of the market, 5% of the market based on the TRP rating. Rather, once it moves to TVT rating, the companies will also be able to sell the incremental size of the pie. That is from growing from the current 140 million households to over 230 million households. That incremental size they will also be able to price in their ads rather than saying just having a constant 3%. They will be able to say on the number of users that now I have a TVT rating of 5 lakh users and 6 lakh users.
Okay, you in the opening remarks you also had a mention about the corporate governance being reasonable. Was that the word used?
Yeah.
So how would you conclude that? I mean, the past practices, have you had an opportunity to look at the past practices and experience on the management practice in terms of their promise versus delivery, in terms of reporting issues? How would you conclude that it's a reasonable corporate governance company?
Yeah, in terms of